Hello everyone, welcome to today's video of Wizard Concepts of Mathematics. With our previous video, I concluded the topic of sequences and series, and today it will be the first video of this video will be the first video of chapter complex numbers. So I have taken the topic of argument, basically argument of the complex number, as well as principal value of the argument. So basically argument, the concept of argument of a complex number will be covered in today's video, and I feel it is a wizard concept of mathematics, because many of the problems that we deal in complex numbers that involves the argument, and actually argument has a significant role in many of the further topics like trigonometry, as well as various coordinate geometry problems. So we use it very often. So argument is a very important and very important concept, I feel, in the complex numbers. So that's the reason I have taken this concept. So the very first topic would be modulus and the argument of a complex number. So yeah, so I have taken a point A, that is x comma y, and to represent this is basically z is equal to x plus iy. So my x would be the real part of this, so this will be my x, this would be the real axis. So x is my real axis and y is my imaginary axis. So this is y, so this is total is y, and let this be theta, and the total like this distance is OA distance is r. So x comma y, so you know that I is equal to root over minus 1. So this is my imaginary axis, this is my real axis, this is my like this is the theta. So length OP, length OA is basically the distance, and this is basically known as the modulus of z, because our z is equal to x plus iy, and that's the reason x plus iy, in the sense x comma y is the point that is represented in the Cartesian plane. So the distance OA will be the distance, that would be the modulus of the z. So our z is equal to x plus iy, so that is represented as OA is equal to r is equal to mod of z is equal to root over x square plus y square. And so this is the significance of the distance r, and theta is known as argument or amplitude of z. So it is defined as theta is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So what is a y? Y is the y coordinate of point A, and x is x coordinate of point A. So you can even say this theta to be angle made by OA with positive x axis. So you can even define this theta to be angle made by OA with the positive x axis, and this theta is known as argument or amplitude of z. So I can represent this theta as argument of z, which is equal to tan inverse of y by x. So this is how we define this. So the very most important point is argument of z, which is equal to theta. This is not unique. Why is this not unique? So for example, we have defined this as theta, and now after the rotation of 360 degrees, and again coming to the same point, we will get the same angle. So theta and 360 plus theta, or 720 plus theta, or so on, we can define as 2n pi plus theta, isn't it? So we can define this 2n pi plus theta. So this comes out to be the same angle, once again the same theta significance, isn't it? So that means the argument can be like argument of z, if I consider that to be theta, and it will be the same if it is theta or 360 plus theta, or you can even say minus 360 plus theta, or 720 plus theta, or minus 720 plus theta, so on. So it can be 2n pi plus theta, where n belongs to integers. fine, n belong to integers, so you can take n is equal to -1 or +1 and -2 or +2, anything. So you'll be finding the same value of the argument of z. So we can come to the conclusion that argument of a complex number is not unique, because if theta is the value of our argument, then 2n pi plus theta, where n belongs to natural numbers, will also be the same argument. That means any two arguments. So the most important point is any two arguments of a complex number differ by to n pi. Fine, because if I take this as my argument and this as my second argument, the difference is 720, and 720 can be represented as 4 into pi. So any two arguments, so everything comes out to be an argument. For the, if I assume theta to be my argument of z, then 360 plus theta is also an argument, minus 360 plus theta is also an argument, like it's the same argument of z. So whatever arguments you're gonna take, any two arguments, they will be differ by 2n pi, and you can just take n from the integers. Fine, n belongs to integer. So this is what we can define our basically the argument is. So argument comes out to be the same if you come to the same point once again by rotation of a 360 degrees or 720 or minus 360 minus 720, it's your convention. So you will be getting the same value after the rotation of 2n pi degrees. So the basic concept, the second concept is argument of z will be alpha or pi minus alpha, pi plus alpha, 2 pi minus alpha, according as the point z lies in first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant respectively. Fine, where alpha is defined as tan inverse of mod of y by x. So it's mod of y by x, so alpha is defined as tan inverse of mod of y by x, and this argument of z will be alpha or pi minus alpha, pi plus alpha, 2 pi minus alpha. As you can see, it may belong to first, second, third and fourth respectively. So if it's in the first, we'll be defining it first quadrant, then we'll define that to be directly the argument as tan inverse of mod of y by x, and because in the first quadrant we have y to be positive, x to be positive, we can just put this to be tan inverse of y by x, and in the second quadrant we'll have x to be negative, y to be positive, so we can have that tan inverse of y by mod x, and the third quadrant we have x to be negative, y to be negative, so both we have the mod, so tan inverse of mod y by mod x, and in the fourth quadrant we have x to be positive and y to be negative, so we have tan inverse of mod y by x. So I'll just write all those things. So it's just for a like just to give you an outlook of how does it like what is the argument. I've written those all things there. So coming to a problem, I'll explain you how to find the argument of z1 is equal to 5 plus 5i, z2 is equal to minus 3 plus 3i, z3 is equal to minus 7i, z4 is equal to 6 minus 6i. So these are the four complex numbers that are given to us, and we need to find the modulus of the argument of everything. So first one, argument of z1. Fine, argument of z1 is tan inverse of mod of y by x. So it's tan inverse of mod of 5 by 5, which is equal to tan inverse of 1, which is equal to pi by 4. So this is argument of z1. And coming to argument of z2, argument of z2 is as told. Now because argument of z2 is minus 3 comma 3, isn't it, minus 3 comma 3, and this belongs to quadrant 2. So if it's in the quadrant 2, we write that to be pi minus alpha. So it's basically pi minus alpha, and what is alpha? Alpha is pi minus tan inverse of mod of y by x. So 4 divided by minus 4, so which is equal to pi minus tan inverse of 4 by mod of 4 minus 4 is again pi minus tan inverse of 1. So you'll get this to be pi minus pi by 4, which is equal to 3 pi by 4. And coming to the next one, argument of z3. Argument of z3. Now for z3 we have z3 to be minus 7 comma minus 7, so this belongs to quadrant 3, and if it belongs to quadrant 3, we have that angle to be pi plus alpha. Fine, so using that, so argument of z3 would be pi plus alpha, so it's pi plus tan inverse of mod of minus 3 by minus 3, which is equal to pi plus tan inverse of mod of 1, so it's actually pi plus tan inverse of 1, which is equal to pi plus pi by 4, which is equal to 5 pi by 4. So this is our argument of z3. And coming to argument of z4, So this is our Z4 and this is 6 comma minus 6, and this belongs to quadrant 4, and if it is in quadrant 4 we have the formula to be 2 pi minus alpha. So argument of Z4 will be 2 pi minus alpha, 2 pi minus what is alpha? Tan inverse of mod of y by x. Mod of y by x is minus 2 by 2, so it's 2 pi minus tan inverse of mod of minus 1 x, again it's minus 1, so tan inverse of 1, so we get thus 2 minus pi by 4, which is equal to 7 pi by 4. So this is how we calculate the argument of the various complex numbers. So it depends upon which quadrant it is, if it's in the first quadrant or second quadrant or in the third quadrant or in the fourth quadrant. So this is the main idea of the argument, how to find it. And now we'll come to the concept of principal value of the argument. And what does the principal value of the argument is? Basic meaning of it is, so is the principal value alpha of the argument which satisfies the inequality minus pi less than alpha is less than or equal to pi. That means it is the argument value, okay, it is the argument value which is in between the minus pi and pi. So it does not cross pi and it's not less than minus pi, and then we say it as the principal value of the argument. For example, in our previous cases we saw that the argument of Z4 and argument of Z4 to be 7 pi by 4, which is greater than pi. So it is an argument, it is not the principal value of the argument. That's the difference between the argument and the principal value of the argument. Principal value of the argument is that argument which lies between minus pi to pi. So if this is our complex number z is equal to x plus iy, then argument of z is equal to tan inverse of y by x. This always gives the value of the principal value. Fine, this gives the principal value of the argument. So how do we write it? So I have taken various cases. So case 1 is x greater than 0, y greater than 0. So first quadrant. So case 2 x, so there is a typo here, so I'll just write it again. So x less than 0 and y greater than 0. So this is our case 2. So how do we deal this? So if x greater than 0, y greater than 0, we can just put our theta to be tan inverse of y by x. Fine. So this is our argument. So this is theta. So theta is equal to tan inverse of y by x, and this gives the principal value. This gives the principal value of argument of z. And this is the principal value of argument of z, and it is also acute angle and positive. Fine. So this is how we define it. So you can just take the counterclockwise direction. So that's the reason like basically it's an acute angle as well as it's the positive value. And coming to the case 2, we have here, if I assume this to be like this value is tan inverse of y by mod x. And why did I keep mod x here? The reason why did I keep mod x here is because in this quadrant, quadrant 2, we have x value to be less than 0, and if I keep tan inverse of y by x, we will be getting a negative value tan inverse of minus tan inverse of y by x, which is not the case that we required. So we need to make sure like we are making it positive, so that this is our theta, this is our argument that we need to calculate. So theta is equal to pi minus tan inverse of y by mod x. Fine. So tan inverse of y by mod x is the actual angle. So if I assume this as some alpha, so this would be tan inverse of y by mod x. This angle alpha is the tan inverse of y by mod x, because I need to make sure that tan inverse, the value inside tan inverse is positive, so that I could get the acute value. And now because it's an acute value, so pi minus acute, it is an obtuse. So theta will be obtuse, and this is positive, and this is positive, and this gives the principal value of the argument of z. So basically the total angle is pi. I am just subtracting this value so that I get the principal value of my argument. So what is this value? This is tan inverse of my y by mod x. And why did I keep mod x? Just to make sure it is positive, because x is less than 0, so mod x will be greater than 0. And taking case 3, in this case 3, we have our theta to be this. Fine. So this will be our argument, because theta argument is basically the angle with which the line is making with the positive x-axis. So this will be our theta. So this is our required argument. And how do we find this? So going in this direction, we have this value to be minus pi, isn't it? Because we are going in the clockwise direction. And if I just remove this part, that is I need to add. So I will be coming from in this direction now. So in this direction we have minus pi because it's a clockwise direction, and coming in this direction we have it to be positive. So if I just remove this, and what is this value? This, if I assume it to be alpha, this would be tan inverse of y by x, because both y and x are negative. So tan inverse of minus y by minus x will be again be tan inverse of y by x. So that's the reason I can just put this to be tan inverse of y by x. So I finally get this argument, the theta value, to be minus pi plus tan inverse of y by x. So this is how I calculate the argument for x less than 0, y less than 0, that is quadrant 3, and it is basically an obtuse angle. It is basically an obtuse angle, and it is negative value. Fine. So these are the conclusions about it. And coming to the case 4, so case 4, and this is our required argument right now. So we can just come in the clockwise direction. So that is theta will be equal to minus tan inverse of mod y by x. Why is mod y? Because y is negative, so mod y will be positive, just to make sure that tan inverse the inside the value, like the value inside tan inverse is positive. So tan inverse of mod y by x. And why it is minus? Because I am coming in the clockwise direction, so it is minus tan inverse of y mod y by x. And that is again an acute angle. This is again an acute angle, and it is negative. We can just see from here it is the negative value. So this is how we will define the argument, the principal value of the argument. So here we have some question, the same topic, like the same numerical for the previous like the question that I have taken, that is argument of these the same complex numbers. But how will it differ from the principal value? We will see here. So for basically for z1 it's in the first quadrant, so directly we can say our principal value is tan inverse of y by x. So tan inverse of 5 by 5, which is equal to 1, tan inverse of 1, which is equal to pi by 4. And coming to the second one, we have tan inverse of, so here because it's in second quadrant, as said, the principal value, how do we find the principal value? Principal value is pi minus tan inverse of y by mod x. So pi minus tan inverse of y by mod x. Fine. So what is pi minus tan inverse of what is y? Y is 3 and divided by mod x, which is equal to mod of minus 3, which is again 3. So we'll get pi minus pi by 4, which is equal to 3 pi by 4. And coming to the second part, we have z3. What is z3? Z3 is minus 7 minus 7i. So it belongs to Q3, where both of them are negative. So we can just find, so here we saw that the principal value of the argument is minus pi plus tan inverse of y by x. So minus pi, so theta would be equal to minus pi plus tan inverse of y by x. And what is our y and x here? Y and x are minus 7 comma minus 7. We can just substitute that there. So minus pi plus tan inverse of minus 7 by minus 7, which we get this to be minus pi plus tan inverse of 1. So which is minus pi plus pi by 4, we get this to be minus 3 pi by 4. So and the next one, which is fourth one, so fourth problem is 6 minus 6i. So this belongs to Q4, where we have this to be greater than 0, this to be less than 0, and for this we have found the principal value. So we can see the principal value, which is basically minus tan inverse of mod y by x. So we can just put that value here. So theta would be equal to minus tan inverse of mod y by x. Why mod y? Because just to make sure it is positive. So minus tan inverse of mod of, what is our y here? Y is minus 6. So you can just put minus 6. So mod of minus 6 is again 6, minus 6 by 6. So we get minus tan inverse of 1. So here we will get the minus pi by 4. In the Z4 value of the previous case, we have saw that it is negative, it is 7 pi by 4. In the previous, the same question that we have taken here, just to find the arguments, we have found that the argument of Z4 is 7 pi pi by 4, but here we have got this value to be minus pi by 4. Fine. So that means this is the principal value. Principal value always lies between minus pi and 2 less than or equal to pi. Fine. So this is what you always need to keep in mind, the difference between principal value and the normal value of an argument. So coming to some facts. So amplitude of z means the same thing, that is argument value. So basically amplitude means the principal value. So argument of z denotes the general argument, but amplitude of z means the principal value. So we need not confuse between argument of z and amplitude of z. Amplitude of z means that we are calculating for the principal value of the argument. And in the second point, if z1 is equal to z2, like if z1 complex number equal to z2 complex number, then that means that modulus of both of them will be equal and argument will also be equal. Third point, if argument of z is equal to pi by 2 or minus pi by 2, fine. So the angle with which the line is making with the positive x-axis is pi by 2 or minus pi by 2, then it means that z is purely imaginary, isn't it? So if we just take a coordinate axis in this way, and only y-axis makes pi by 2 or minus pi by 2 with the positive x-axis, that means our complex number lies on this imaginary axis. Fine, only in this imaginary axis. And fourth one, if argument of z is 0 or pi, that means z is purely real. So if this is our coordinate axis, so if I take any point with this in this positive x direction, so with positive x direction it makes a 0 angle because it's on the positive x axis only. And when we take on negative x axis, any point on negative x axis, the angle will be pi. So that means this will be only on the real axis. If our z is on real axis, then only it is possible, like the argument will be 0 or pi. So argument of the complex number 0 is not defined. Of course the 0 is, which means the origin, it is not defined, like what angle is it making with the either like we cannot say, like we cannot define, or even in the formula wise, tan inverse of y by x, if I say 0 can be represented as just 0 plus no 0i. Fine, you can just put this and you can even say from here it is not defined. So this is how this is how I'll end the today's lecture. So the main difference between the argument and principal value of the argument. So principal value of the argument is nothing but amplitude. We can just denote it by amplitude. And the difference between principal value of the argument and the argument is, principal value of the argument lies between minus pi to pi, but argument of pi has no restrictions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today's concept. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching.